Hello, internet. Welcome to this new experiment from two unfunny, uncharismatic hacks. We're college students, so
Also,
inevitably.
you have to add weebs to that.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty much a cardinal sin. If you're a weeb,
That's
a college
true.
student, and a nerd, you're basically committing death.
That's true. And we're doing a podcast, God's greatest sin. We're going to the Joe Rogan territory. We're finally doing it. We're becoming dude bros. I hope Joe Rogan has us on his podcast, because I think we would be tremendous guests. We're just the peak of masculinity and athleticism.
True on that. So, for this first podcast, we're doing something special because this movie just came out and we're trying to shill. Yeah. It's for Spiderman Homecoming.
No,
not Homecoming. Homecoming. No Way
Incorrect.
Home. No Way Home, that was the one.
You did it. I'm so proud of you.
But it's not entirely false because we're going to compare between the other three movies.
Other two movies.
The three total movies.
There you go. Great job. Man, this is going off to a great start. What's even a better start is we didn't introduce ourselves.
Yeah.
I go by Treff55 on the YouTubes. You know me from such classics as Hatsune Miku fucking dies. And my co-host here is...
I am currently a dead channel. I will eventually fix it, but it's currently Shadow Dragon Tide 2008. It's been dead for quite a few years, ever since that whole thing where it's like, hey, if you make content and it accidentally falls under kids, you can get fined $40,000. And I said, F that, I ain't taking the chance.
He's a coward.
So I basically nuked my channel.
He's a coward is what he is. Neither of us will be calling each other by those names.
No.
Instead, you just Travis and...
Tyler. Taylor, yes.
So true. Because, going by channel names is hard, and for nerds and posers. And if you somehow figure out who we are from this, get a hobby, go outside, touch some grass, enjoy life, please.
Fucking nerd.
So true. So, on to our first topic, which, as my co-host here mentioned, is some good old shilling by trying to get popular with the YouTube algorithm by talking about the latest MCU movie,
Actually,
Spider-Man.
speaking of that, did you hear about the new change they're doing?
No.
They're doing a change where basically you're not like, you know how it's like categorized at one point where it was like, what the fuck? What the hell was it categorized as before? But I forgot what it was. But essentially now they're categorizing as like by your theme. So like if you do like Let's Play channels, you get solely it basically negates like doing like juggling content where you do a bunch of different things.
No.
So it's like you either do Let's Plays or you do nothing. If you do anything else, your algorithm gets screwed.
I feel like you're fucking with me.
I am not. Well, I mean, granted, this is what I've heard from a streamer, and I trust a streamer, so essentially...
Was it pyrocynical?
No.
I'm actually surprised by that. But, yeah, I mean, that sounds like fucking horse shit. Not surprised if it's true, but
I don't think that should affect this channel, because it's meant to be only just a podcast channel, so this one shouldn't have a problem with that. Unless, like, they're like, you can talk about Marvel only. You can talk about anime, death.
As it should be. Just kidding, because I'm not a pussy who hides behind self-deprecation when talking about anime. Sorry all you big anime YouTube channels getting called out right now. I'm sure you're seething and crying over a random college student saying this. I'm sure you're definitely gonna watch this as well, so cry harder, babies. So before we got on that little side tangent right off the get-go, we are going to be talking about Spider-Man No Way Home and how it compares to Homecoming and Far From Home. Little side tangent right off the get-go. We are going to be talking about Spider-Man No Way Home and how it compares to Homecoming and Far From Home.
And I forgot to mention, FYI, I am not a big MCU person. Like, I literally watched the second movie 3 days ago just so I could watch No Way Home. So, if there's any, like, character for Tom Holland as major in Infinity War, Civil War, Endgame, whatever, I have not seen it. Do not kill me.
No, that's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
To put you in the proverbial ground when you say something stupid. Or literal ground, depending on how stupid it is. Anywho, how do you wanna start this good old convo about Spider-Man?
Well, I'd say mention No Way Home because it's still a decent bit fresh in our mind.
Yeah.
So we watched it about 3 hours ago.
Yeah, that's about right.
So I would say the only criticism I'd have is there's not enough Tom Maguire meme moments. But that's just the Tom Maguire fanboy in me not getting satisfied.
The literal exact complaint you had coming out of the theater. You fucking cretin. For me, because I don't believe in nostalgia. Nostalgia is a myth made up by the government.
It's a conspiracy theory.
Exactly. I am of the opinion that this is only the third or fourth movie I've ever seen that I would consider a 10 out of 10. It was really, really fucking good. Holy shit.
Actually, the one thing I will give it that, I think it's my favorite of the trilogy so far. If they would come out with a fourth movie, then it might date it a bit. But so far, the other two movies are kind of jack shit compared to this one. No offense.
So, possible spoiler warning, because I don't know if we will or won't be, but, be warned, if you couldn't tell from a podcast talking about a movie, I don't know why you couldn't tell that. Please gain some perspective and self-awareness for the love of Christ. But yeah, no, I think...
Probably in the podcast, if we fully upload this to YouTube, I'll probably just put a buffer between the two sections. So spoiler, non-spoiler, so that way people don't get God damn it, man, you spoiled the whole fucking movie to me. Even though it just came out and I could just go watch it.
This is gonna be fun cutting up these fucking stupid parts we have.
I mean, we're just looking at it, man. It's a podcast. That's what it's supposed to be. Unless it's just for 5 minutes.
That's true. Or just heavily breathe for several minutes.
Or just do that for 5 minutes straight.
So true. So, yeah, I guess the non-spoiler sections. Tom Holland, as usual in Spider-Man, is pretty fucking good. He emotes well. He expresses his feelings well. I think the script is good. I think what the characters do makes sense. Doctor Strange is always a welcome side character in any MCU movie I've seen.
Also, I should mention fun fact, it's the first time I've seen Doctor Strange, and I do like him from this movie. He was pretty cool. Kind of an ass, but I feel that was kind of just the point of his character's movie, to be particular.
Yeah, no, he's typically a good side character. Ragnarok, he's fun. And he's not. I guess they're all main characters. Infinity War, he's good in. He's a good contrast to how some of the other heroes feel, as you saw in No Way Home. He's an interesting character. I look forward to watching the Madness in the Multiverse? The Sam Raimi directed Doctor Strange movie?
I just call it the Sam Raimi one. I don't think they announced official title. All they said was Doctor Strange being done by Sam Raimi.
I'm pretty sure there is an official title. I just don't know
there
it.
Might be.
Nor am I going to look it up. So, YouTube comments, you know what to do. Destroy me for not knowing a movie title. Keep it tight.
Also, I gotta say, this is probably the most fan fiction movie you could ever think of for a Spider-Man movie.
Oh, without a doubt.
Holy crap, there is so much fanfare in this movie, it's not even funny. And also, I'm gonna give a shout out to my one friend in college. He called a lot of this stuff in the movie, which is very funny. This is sort of spoiler, but it's more of a joke. There's a scene where basically they compare because Tom Maguire's organic web shooting, and everyone else is with the
actual web shooters.
Yeah,
instead of
and then they had this whole skit where it's they're you shoot that organically? Does it come out anywhere else?
Right. It was the fact I can walk away from a movie saying they didn't take the easy punches they could have with the Amazing Spider-Man series. I was very surprised. I thought it would just, part of me was thinking they would just take cheap shots at it,
Is the Electro actor different?
No, it's the same actor.
Oh my god.
It literally has more character than he ever had in Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Good on them. Actually, I'm very surprised they got multi actors together from them, that whole all the movies.
I think they got all of them.
I know they got all of them. I'm just surprised they got them all because sometimes with some of these movies there's nothing. I'm even surprised Tom Maguire got him. He's that was the one character everyone was at least I was worried about not being in the movies. They could have just had like a stunt double or something like that, and just him all being masked.
I don't think that would have worked out for the better. Probably. I feel
wouldn't.
like the movie.
Also,
would
kind of funny.
I
found it funny how like and I found it funny that Andrew Garfield was in the Spider-Man suit and Tobey Maguire wasn't. I'm like, oh my god, they can do it without the Spider-Man suit the whole time. It's like just Tobey Maguire versus the world.
Hell yeah. Jesus. No, that was interesting how they did that. Fuck it. I'm gonna get into spoilers now because it's just
you kind of already did.
Yeah,
so
that's fair.
Just go ham.
Yeah, that's fair. Basically, how the last one ends with Mysterio revealing Spider-Man's identity. I like how that plays in. I like how it's not just like everyone immediately believes Mysterio or doesn't believe Mysterio. I like how there's actual conflict with some of the minor characters. Like, you see people, just like background characters, either praising Spider-Man or seeing him as like the person who killed Mysterio and did the attack on Europe. I don't remember where in Europe.
You know what this whole scene reminds me of?
What's that?
Death Note.
In what way, shape, or form?
With the Cure supporters and the non-Cure supporters. Yeah.
Yeah. I get what you mean. See, we're called Weeb Conquest for a reason. Anime reference for you. We know what we're talking about.
Also known as that one anime channel that had a Nazi as the profile picture at one point.
Oh, Christ. Did we?
Yeah, it was the anime girl with a Nazi symbol.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Thank God we became funny. Or
Yeah.
at least funnier than that. Oh, man, that's...
Eventually, we'll have an actual decent banner instead of the hodgepodge piece of shit we have currently, because we actually have an actual artist doing it. It's just taking her a bit because she doesn't have a computer at the moment.
Yeah.
And she is excused.
Exactly, And plus the fact pretty sure we have 0 subscribers outside of the people who made it. There's a third person who made the channel, but they don't watch anime because they're weak and a coward and fickle, so...
They're faking a fraud.
We kicked them out of the treehouse known as having to record a podcast with a single microphone. Truly a curse for them, I'm sure.
Until we're in our dorms and then have to do it remotely.
Oh, yeah.
We wouldn't have to do it Zoom call quality.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. So, yeah, as far as, I realize we've been, sidetracking and not talking about it, but hey,
well, I mean, we're sticking to the main subject primarily.
Right,
we're just kind of getting caught off track a bit.
No, it's no issue,
Then, for Far From Home, I would say the first good section of it was honestly my least favorite part of the whole movie. I like Tom Holland as Spider-Man. It's just that he made me fucking cringe a lot, mainly because I already knew Mysterio was gonna be the bad guy, and that kind of I feel like affected it a bit. So I'm assuming if you didn't know he was being the bad guy, you'd be like, oh, cool, he's a freaking new Tony Stark, and then he's like, fuckers,
right? Ooh, excuse me.
But I like Mysterio. I like the actor. I like his motives, and I thought it was pretty interesting that he's I did not expect him to compare it to Tony Stark. I did not expect that. I thought it'd be him actually being have weird mythical powers and shit.
Right.
So that was different. Actually, it's kind of the running theme with every villain minus the ones from No Way Home, where it's they had some sort of Stark attack.
Right.
Which is kind of cool.
That's quite the hot take. I want you to know that most people who hate the MCU movies hate the fact that the villains are connected to Stark. I mean,
I thought it was interesting. Well, I mean, for Vulture it makes sense because how the hell is he gonna be able to fly?
Right.
He needs some sort of tech and makes sense.
Whereas with Mysterio, they could have easily just said, "Oh yeah, he legit has the power of illusion."
Plus, they also compared what was it? It was the first Avengers.
For what?
For how the Vulture got his powers.
Oh yeah. At the end of the first Avengers, the cleanup crew.
So I was pretty sure that was the one. I just wasn't sure if Age of Ultron did that type of crap too.
Well, it's a foreign country, so a bit less taken care of than New York City. Yeah, we don't talk about Age of Ultron. It's not a very good movie. But yeah, no, if we're moving to Far From Home now, I disagree with you just mostly because I'm willing to accept. I get that we as an audience more than likely know Mysterio is a bad guy, but the characters in universe don't know that. And plus, from the way the script goes in the first half, I actually legit thought they were going to make Mysterio a protagonist and just have the elemental people be weird, omnipotent antagonist. So I'll be honest, the Mysterio twist actually somewhat got me, even as someone who knows a bit more about, comics, not too much more, Don't want to be one of those people who claim to know a lot but don't, but
I mean, I'll also give him that. He's probably one of the best con men in the MCU at the moment.
Right. No, he
just clowns on everyone.
Also, they do confirm he is dead in Far From Home, so if you're expecting Mysterio to return, I don't think it's happening, because they do... I don't know if you missed it, but when he's getting interrogated by the police, he mentions that a drone killed Quentin Beck, so I think Quentin Beck is actually dead, which means Mysterio is a one-off villain, which is kind of a shame, because...
I mean, they also, in the end of Far From Home, I remember watching it, his eyes stayed open when he died. Like, he was not moving at all. He was straight up dead.
It's been a minute since I watched it.
Yeah, the only reason why I know is because I watched it like 2 days ago.
See, there you go. Look at you knowing things.
But, sidetrack again. Who would you think was the best character from, like, No Way Home from the villain side of things?
Who's the one I found most interesting? Probably Green Goblin, or oddly enough, Electro?
Yeah, I think Electro actually got, like, the best development out of all the characters. I think he kind of needed it the most, since he was kind of like the laughingstock before this movie.
Yeah. When you come from Amazing Spider-Man 2, you're not exactly treated with respect.
Also, oofed to the new Goblin. He got oofed. Now he's the laughingstock.
Oh, the greener Hobgoblin from God, I forgot.
I thought it was the new Goblin, but I mean, that might be the same Raimi one.
I don't know what they call him in Amazing Spider-Man 2. I know what character you're talking about.
Yeah, the Harry Osborn.
I literally forgot about him until you mentioned him, and I was like, oh god, that's right, there's a third villain in that movie.
Actually, no, he's the second one.
No, Rhino.
Rhino's the last one, but he's the end.
No, he pops... I don't care, he pops up at the start, and then he has the worst...
Oh, yeah, he does actually pop in the first... I forgot about that, because he pops up, like, in the very beginning. You don't expect anything from him, he becomes a freaking Rhino.
The worst thing they could have done is take the Ultimate Universe as Rhino, and that's what they decided to do, because Ultimate Universe Rhino is the stupidest thing. Like, oh, it's just a mech in the shape of a rhino and someone's piloting it. That is so incredibly lame. And I get the Rhino's probably, like, a lame villain in general, but fuck it. I'm more willing to believe that, like, someone has, like, a super suit shaped like a rhino or themed after a rhino.
You know what they should have done instead of that? If they did bring Rhino in the movie, they should have just done the freaking game version.
Oh, the Amazing Spider-Man game version?
No, I mean, not even that. I mean, like, the PS4 Spider-Man game. That Rhino.
Oh, yeah.
That one actually would look pretty cool.
That's what the comic one is like. Sidetracking the sidetrack. So, Amazing just never talked about. Oh, we love
brought up again.
We love movie tie. Actually, that game wasn't bad. I just find it funny that it's just not acknowledged.
Let's give Marvel this. Usually for them, the movie tie-in games are actually good. Like, I mean, the Spider-Man ones in particular, they were usually good. At least from what I'm aware, anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I think I don't know off the top of my head.
Because most of them, like, the big gimmick was fighting crime and gliding around the city in web shooters.
Alright, like, Spider-Man 2 is fun. Spider-Man 3 is not a fun game, as someone who's played a bit of that. I've never played the first Spider-Man game, or at least, like, not recent enough to remember anything about it. Spider-Man PS4, not a movie tie-in game, despite the fact they, like, redesigned him in the PS5 version to look like Tom Holland for some reason.
Oh, it was PS5. I was confused. I was playing the game, I was like, this does not look like Tom Holland. I mean, it looks sort of like him.
Yeah, no.
But, like, it's loose enough to be, like, his own character.
Yeah, no, the PS5 version, like, makes it so he looks a lot more like Tom Holland. Which
I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know why either, because PS4 Peter isn't a bad design.
He's a good design. I think they should have just kept them separate because he can have his own story. Like Tom Holland could be doing his own thing, and then the PS4 games can do their own thing as well.
Right.
When you combine them together, then it's going to start being a problem, because then people are like, oh, why is this game not like the movie?
I mean, hey, and it did something that I never thought it could do, and that was make Mr. Negative make sense, because as someone...
Okay, so he was an actual character. I thought, honestly, he was like an OC for this game.
No, he exists in the comic books, and, like, I just remember, because, I was a Venom fan and an anti-Venom fan, so I read a comic with anti-Venom where Mr. Negative is the main antagonist, and I just didn't understand what the hell his character was. And then the PS4 game happens, And I was like, oh, okay, this like created a backstory for him that like makes sense, and I get his character. It's not just like a weird attempt at multiple personality that like doesn't really work in any way. It's just like a facade. Alright, I get it. It makes sense. Another reason why Spider-Man PS4 is good and should be played.
Yeah, definitely. If you get a PS5, especially because there's no fucking games on there, play Spider-Man. If you're a PS4 owner, get it because it's like $20 on the PSN store at the moment, and that was a fucking good deal because it came with all the DLC with it, and I've been having a blast with that so far. The only thing was that I didn't know the DLC took place after. So, like, as soon as Black Cat showed up in the story, I started doing the first DLC, and then, like, I got paired up with the final, like, enemies. Like, I had to fight the like, the fucking minigun guys. I was like, how am I supposed to win this?
Oh, dude.
I eventually pulled through after, like, a freaking half an hour of me being like, what the fuck?
I bet you they're not even nearly as annoying as the stupid Silver Sable fucking people who just have the jetpacks and shit.
They are so much worse, I'm not even kidding.
Oh, God.
Those ones were so easy to kill. Those minigun guys made me want to kill myself.
Well, I'm glad I never made to the minigun guys, because I remember hating
Oh
this.
my God.
I remember...
They were... Because, like, it was not even just like a one-face. It was a two-face boss fight where, like, a crap ton of enemies spawn in your ass. And then, like, when the second phase starts, you're immediately face first in front of... Like, you basically are immediately facing two guys with miniguns pointing at your face. And they literally shoot you as point blank.
That sounds pretty hype.
Oh, God. But when I beat that, I was like, thank God!
Was that... Well, I'm glad to hear that you made it through it.
And then I haven't gotten to the Turf War in I did beat the game, and honestly... This game alone basically made it to where, like, when I get PS5, I'm getting Miles Morales. Because, like, that's how much I like this game. I want to play the next game in the series.
Right.
Also, I'm very interested what they're going to do with Harry and Venom. Since that's actually, like, I know it's a spoiler for the game, but...
Game's like 3 years old. If you haven't played it or seen anything about it, too bad. Cry harder.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. But, I'm not used to Harry being Venom. That's, like, a very weird thing for me to think about.
I think in, like, one of the more recent animated TV shows, they had him as Venom.
Oh, yeah, they did. They did that, too. I know about that. I found out about that afterwards. I looked up, like, I got curious to see, like, all the Venom suit transformations. Yeah. So I watched, like, the original animated one, so on and so forth.
Right. Excuse me
I kind of wish for the animated suits they try something different. Like, instead of just doing the same story over and over and over again, do, like... After, like, I guess, how do I explain this? After Venom type of thing. Like, where Venom's already introduced, he's already main villain, all that type of stuff. Like, do, like, Carnage, you do, like, all those other guys. So I know there's probably way more villains.
Oh, good lord, bring in all the symbiote variants. Oh, that'd be interesting to witness. Oh, good
actually,
lord.
that might be one of the villains in the next Spider-Man game.
Oh?
Because, I assume they'd actually bring him in because they have Venom, and they need more villains, but they just did Sinister Six.
That's fair. They could just bring back some of the Sinister Six. Or who knows, maybe they bring
maybe Doc Ock might come back.
Well, I'm pretty sure Kraven's in that game, if I remember right from that Spider-Man 2 teaser. It sounds like Kraven doing the, like, narrating. So I think it'll probably be Kraven the Hunter and Venom as the two big bads of that game.
Who's the Hunter?
Kraven the Hunter? That's one guy.
Is it the dude that wears the tiger skin?
Yeah, like the
animal
skin.
I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah. Maybe they can... He's not a nothing villain. He's just kind of like... He kind of falls in the background sometimes amongst, like, the other Spider-Man
I'd assume
villains.
so. He's going toe-to-toe with Venom. And Venom's, like, very popular in that instance.
Right, but hopefully he doesn't get, like, shafted, like, you know...
I don't think they would, because they probably, like, have him be, like, maybe, like, the first villain and have, like, Venom show up. Or, like, start, like, the Venom trail until, like, it's, like, where Venom's actually in the game.
Right. Who knows? Maybe they'll bring Shocker back and just have Shocker be a nothing villain. Because, man, Shocker just gets zero respect in any Spider-Man game ever. He is just...
I like how you fight him twice and you never see him again. I even, like, when the prison raid and all that. They could have had the Scissor 7 and they're like, nope, fuck you, Shocker. Nope. You're gonna stay in the prison. They just, like, walk past us all like, nah.
Sorry, Shocker. You're just not good enough. You know, take the L. So we should probably go back to our original topic of the MCU Spider-Man movies now. As fun of a sidetrack as that was.
Do you want to talk about like the big kind of spoiler for this movie? I'd say anyway, or one of the big ones.
What are we thinking?
The death.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's
so. Aunt May dies. Yeah. I did not expect that.
Neither did I.
Granted, they didn't really have an Uncle Ben scene in this movie, or the trilogy so far, so I assumed it was going to happen at some point.
Right? Yeah, no, it was certainly a very, well, not weird in a bad way, but, like, just out of nowhere, really? Like, it's just not very
Well, I think that was part of the point, was just to do something unexpected, so that people, like, shock face PNG.
Yeah, kind of like me when I watched it happen. I was just like, oh damn. Oh damn. I was going to say something awful there, but I held back.
I also kind of like how, it's close to the end of the movie, but I like when, Tobey Maguire stops, Tom Holland from trying to kill,
Goblin.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was nice. I like.
And then he just gets stabbed and walks it off.
I do actually like how they're just like one little speech isn't enough to make Tom Holland just like forgive Goblin for like, you know, doing what he did.
And of course it had to be the mean man Toby to do it.
Yes, sir. Hey man, gotta get that Sam Raimi fanfare before he makes his own MCU movie, you know?
Yeah.
Gotta make sure MCU knows Sam Raimi's cool.
I was so happy to see Tobey Maguire in the movie. Because like there is gonna be, I'm calling it, there's gonna be at least like 4 videos of just meme moments with this movie. Like I'm gonna put dirt in your eye for this movie. There's gonna be a bunch.
Oh, without a
like,
doubt.
Tom Holland versus Toby.
Oh god, yeah, you're probably right. Plus, who knows, maybe people that only think the Sam Raimi movies are good can like finally appreciate these movies for what they are now that they have Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man back instead of being a bunch of crybabies.
Nah, Tobey Maguire's still better. I'm sorry. Tom Holland's better than Andrew Garfield. Granted, Andrew Garfield actually pretty good in this movie. I actually liked him a lot. He was like 10 times better than his 2 movies combined, and he was only in for like maybe like 25 minutes total.
Yeah, no,
like
it's like literally out everyone in the Amazing Spider-Man series who's in this movie besides the Lizard is like a better character, because let's be honest, the Lizard's kind of like a nothing character in this movie. If that's
isn't he like the only like decent character you'd say, like, or like the ones that stands tall from like the Amazing Spider movies?
The Lizard? Oh, yeah. He's I
like
mean,
I guess we say like his redemption kind of thing.
Been a minute since I saw the first one, but like yeah, he was like the only. Well, I mean, Spider-Man wasn't too bad in the first one, but Amazing Spider-Man 2 ruins everything it touches.
Gwen reference.
Gwen, yeah, right. No, they actually let Andrew Garfield redeem himself in a way that made sense.
It'd be funny if like he like failed against like. Fuck, sorry, dude. Sorry, man, your girlfriend's kind of dead.
That's a bit rough. Yeah, sorry about that, man. I'm just not very good at catching these girls. I'm just not very good
sorry,
at catching the girlfriends.
You should have had Toby here doing it.
Let me just have my web thematically turn into a hand and like not catch him in time again. Yeah, right?
And then barely any blood in the nose.
Hey, man, you know, that's just how it goes, you know? If you don't know, now you know.
I like Doc Ock. He was probably the most hype one showing up, I'd say. I kind of wish they did some sort of reference to the train scene. I mean, they kind of did, but I kind of wish Doc Ock was kind of more involved with it than what he was. Like, if he wasn't involved at all.
Yeah, right.
That would be really cool. Like, instead of, like... Actually, no. Better idea. Have, like, when basically, you know how, like, Doctor Who is trying to fight Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
Have that for when Doc Ock shows up. Or, like, see, like, a silhouette of him show up or something like that.
See, I'm fine with the way they introduced Doc Ock. I don't think you need that reference, because I get the train scene's memorable, right?
Yeah.
But I think if they would have done that, then it would have just leaned too heavily on, like, hey, you recognize this from Spider-Man 2, right?
Oh, yeah, I can see what you mean.
So, like, plus I think it would have been weird having Doc Ock appear at that point with what Spider-Man and Doctor Strange were fighting about at that moment, you know?
You're fighting about this? Oh, hey, I'm here too.
Yeah, right. Like, it'd be a bit awkward. That's another thing. I think the action scenes in this movie were like all good. Like I was into all of them.
The only thing I'd say was bad for this movie, and it's not that it was really bad. It was more because like I'm a freaking pea-brain dumbass, where like I could not tell half the time which fucking Spider-Man was which because they have the same colors. So like, you could fucking tell me that like fucking Andrew Garfield was fighting Doc Ock the whole time, and I'd probably believe you.
See, I don't think I had that issue because they had like each of them talking when they were fighting them. Plus, MCU Spider-Man has like that black and red.
It was more Andrew and Tobey that I was having the problem with because
That's
like
fair.
they look very similar.
Right? No, I get you, but I think just due to hearing them talk at certain points, I was able to like figure out who was fighting who, and it made like sense to me. So like, I didn't really have an issue with that.
It's nice to see Willem Dafoe back.
Huh?
It's nice to see Willem Dafoe back.
Right?
Like, I swear to God, most of the movies this guy is in is like amazing. Like, he's good in Platoon. He's good in this movie.
Oh yeah, Willem Dafoe. Willem
Yeah.
Dafoe is always. I don't know. Yeah, no. Even in the Death Note live action movie,
he's like the best character.
He's the best part of that.
He's
movie.
actually looks he's having fun with it. Like, he has fun with every role he does.
Maybe I should look more into Willem Dafoe because I don't think I think I'm like you. I don't think I've ever seen a bad Willem Dafoe performance, and this movie is
even
no
like
exception.
the bad movies he's in. It usually is like the best redeeming part of it.
Like I thought maybe the past Spider-Man villains would like phone it in a bit, like not really care all that much, but like all of them seem true to like what characters they
Plus,
were.
also they had the Marvel probably give him a pretty fucking good paycheck for this, especially Tobey. Like Tobey's like probably like.
Oh, Tobey's was a fat one because they probably had to do a bit of talking to get him to go back to Spider-Man.
I feel like with how like the MCU has been going so far, especially like after Infinity War Endgame, he's probably like, you know what, I'll go for it.
Right? No, I get you. Like this movie is the ultimate. I feel like if you're a fan of movie Spider-Man, I feel like this is the ultimate fan service movie.
Especially
for
if
you.
like you really like the Amazing Spider-Man, but feel like got Jiff because like it got like really better from this.
Yeah, no, it definitely. Even if you're not like the biggest like movie Spider-Man fan, I think as an MCU Spider-Man movie, this movie is still like really fucking good. Like it does a lot for Tom Holland's character. For people,
Also, actually, no, I'll let you finish.
For people who claim that Tom Holland faces no consequences in any of these movies, despite facing consequences multiple times in them, he faces consequences in this one.
I mean, I don't know what had to be saying after 2 when he basically gives the dude, hey, here's some glasses, and then drone attack.
And then identity reveal. But no stakes. God, I'm just... Oh, man, Far From Home haters are the worst people on this planet. Just kidding. There are worse people.
It's not my favorite Spider-Man movies. Like, I didn't really like any of the Tom Holland movies before this because he looked like a preteen to me.
Well, to be fair, that's...
Granted, it's probably what the idea was, so,
yeah.
I mean, like, fair enough. But, I don't know, I just had a hard time with him being Spider-Man sometimes. But he did really good in this movie, and I do like him. It just, like... It took me a lot longer to get attached to him, I guess you could say.
Right. No, I get what you mean. I definitely
Plus,
get
the only
what you
thing
mean.
I hope they do is if they do start doing, like, the adult phase of Tom Holland, give him a couple more years so he can actually, like, look like a man instead of, like, a preteen, and then we'll be good.
I'm pretty sure he's, like, in his mid-20s. I don't think he's aging
He
up
looks
anymore.
He looks more skinny than me.
It just could be the Hollywood lifestyle. I mean, I think that's what they are doing, because, like, how it ends with him moving out on his own.
Yeah, that's another thing. Another spoiler. They basically Thanos snapped their memories.
That's your description of it?
Yeah.
I respect it. I mean, that wasn't really what I was referencing.
I mean, it's Tom Holland and, like, Infinity War. It's just going to show up at some point.
That's fair. But yeah, no, that was not an angle I was expecting them to take it in. Again, another like...
Actually, it's like a pretty... For him, I think it's like a pretty adult thing for him to do.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like, it shows maturity for the character. It shows his willingness to put others before himself.
I also feel like they might introduce like this universe as Gwen in the next movie, maybe?
I think they're going to keep MJ and him together. Also helps that they're dating in real life, so that's even more incentive to keep them together. Much like Andrew Garfield and Gwen Stacy's actress were doing for the Amazing Spider-Man movies. Fun fact for you.
Oh, I think I've heard about that. I mean... Or maybe Black Cat, maybe.
Yeah,
Black Cat hasn't gotten like any like movie adaptation yet.
Nope, no, she is not.
That'd be very interesting to see, actually.
Right?
Plus, also the smut game would definitely be up because of that.
Jesus Christ. It was only a matter of time before one of us brought smut up. I'm glad, it took us till the 35-minute point. I'm proud.
Hey, it's Black Cat. I can't. When I was playing the game, I was like, I'm feeling some Black Cat right now.
Tyler was feeling like he needed a dommy mommy in his life. Tyler was thinking to himself, I can fix her.
Oh my god.
Fun fact, apparently Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 4, I think, was supposed to have Black Cat and the Vulture.
Fuck you, Sony! Fuck you! You ruined everything!
Ah, shit. I wasn't expecting that reaction.
Fuck you, Sony!
Oh my god.
You fuck over Black Cat to have a fucking Amazing Spider-Man with the lizard. What the fuck? No, this is the worst timeline.
This is the worst timeline?
I'm going back and suing Sony.
So true. Oh my god. Shit. So I guess we should move on to ranking these movies. How would you rank the MCU
No Way Home,
Spider-Man trilogy?
No Way Home at top.
Mm-hmm. Here's the hard part for you. It's pretty easy for me. How I'm gonna.
Well, I haven't seen. The last time I watched the first movie was on a pirate site when it was like movie theater quality.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so I'm gonna split up into two parts. The first half of Far From Home is bottom.
Okay.
The middle of the late half is at mid tier.
Okay.
And then the first movie I'd say is mid tier.
Okay, so if I got your order right, it is No Way Home, second half of Far From Home, Homecoming, first half.
No. Homecoming is the same tier.
Okay. Oh, you're doing tiers?
Yeah, I was doing that. I was doing like 3 tiers. It'd be like, okay, Bomb is the worst.
Okay.
Because I don't really dislike Homecoming over the other. And Far From Home did redeem itself for the second half. Just the first half made me cringe so hard.
Alright, well.
Especially when he was like, I don't want to be Spider-Man. Even though that's my responsibility as a freaking, like, one of the only survivors of fucking the Thanos snap.
Well, no.
Also, like, is Captain America dead?
He's either dead or very old.
He's like, the movie was kind of like showing how he was dead for like Far From Home.
Right.
I know like Iron Man is dead.
Yeah, Iron Man.
Which sucks because that was like one of my favorite characters. So it kind of honestly ruined the MC universe for me, to be honest. Because without like Tony Stark, it kind of just doesn't feel like MCU anymore.
But Tyler, you have Captain Marvel.
Who fucking likes Captain Marvel?
You have Captain Marvel, Tyler. She's such a compelling character in the movies.
Yeah, that hasn't shown up since like freaking like what, Endgame?
Good. It'd
be funny if like she just shows up randomly, just walked on set type of thing.
She walks on set. I just throw something at my TV.
No.
Yeah, right. My ranking from, I guess I'll go best to worst, much like you did. Best, Spider-Man No Way Home. Second best, Spider-Man Far From Home. Third best / worst, Spider-Man Homecoming. I think all 3 of them are good movies. Like I said, No Way Home I think would be like a 10 out of 10. Far From Home I think would be an 8 out of 10. And I think Homecoming would be like a 7 out of 10.
Watching like a few years, we're like, yeah, No Way Home sucked.
Oh my god.
Or that's like the popular opinion on the internet. That movie sucks.
Yeah, that's what happened with Far From Home for me. I was like, sweet, this movie was awesome. And then I see like half of the discourse is just like, this movie actually sucks. And Tom Holland Spider-Man sucks too. And it was just like, wow. Well, thank you, internet. Truly, you have blessed me on this.
Now, I don't say he sucks. I just say he's not the best. He was at the time. He was not the best out of the 3. He was probably like maybe second. To like there's honestly, I don't think there's any character that's ever gonna beat Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. It's just not gonna happen, or at least not for a decent bit.
Gotcha.
He is too much of a meme now, and also in general, he's like considered probably like one of the best interpretations of Peter Parker as a character. That I don't think it's just ever gonna change.
That's fair.
Plus, also Sam Raimi was doing his like unique like style of like recording the video, like doing the movie with like his stuff from like Evil Dead, for example. So it has a lot of stuff going for it.
No tree rape in the Spider-Man movie, so I'm afraid I have to dock points for Sam Raimi.
They had a tree in it.
So true. So I'm afraid I have to dock points for Sam Raimi not committing to his Evil Dead roots.
Instead of
pun unintended. But
instead of MJ on chains in the second movie, just a tree.
Jesus Christ. I created this monster, but I want it to die now. So let's move on from MCU Spider-Man to some video games we're currently playing. Tyler already discussed him playing Spider-Man on the PS4. What are some other games you've been playing?
Well, I've been playing Pokemon Diamond, Brilliant Diamond. I'm slowly but surely trying to complete the Pokédex, but good God, this game has been a struggle because there's not really a good way to grind levels in this game. So I'm kind of just having to hodgepodge it. I've been playing SMT5 and SMT3 Nocturne.
Mm-hmm.
Nocturne I've only played for 3 hours, and I just got that the other day, so still very new on it. It's okay so far. 5 is really good. I've been having a lot of fun with it so far. I've been more of on a PS4 binge at the moment because I haven't been able to touch my PS4 in like 4 months.
Right.
And aside from that, I think that's pretty much it at the moment for those.
I want to go back to Pokemon for a moment because I thought that game was easier to grind out levels for since they have that shared XP system now.
It's not really for like, there's no really good, like, yes, they have the shared experience system, but the problem is that there's no like high experience trainers to grind off from. So it's either the Elite Four trying to do something in the battle, like the battle area, which is basically the end game area, or go to the underground and fight like level 60 Pokemon. That's pretty much it.
Sounds fun.
Yeah. For PS4 games, I've been playing Spider-Man, obviously. I've been playing Yakuza Like a Dragon. I've played a decent bit of Doom Eternal, some of RE7, and probably tomorrow-ish I'm going to probably start Nier Automata.
Jesus Christ. God damn, son. You're playing quite a few games at the moment. God damn.
Yeah. I would say out of the 5 so far, the one I've had the most fun with Spider-Man. Second is probably a tie between Doom Eternal and Yakuza. Resident Evil 7 I've been liking. I actually got past that one scene that messed me up so many times, so I was happy about that.
What scene was that?
It was when it was the first like video. I think it was the second videotape. That was the one that screwed me up because I didn't know how to avoid her. So I always got stuck. I was like, how am I supposed to avoid you? But then I watched the video. I was like, are you kidding me? There was like, I didn't know you could go on this side of the porch. So I was on this side. I was like, how am I supposed to avoid her?
Don't you always love when you like watch a YouTube tutorial on something and then you just go, are you fucking kidding me? That's really what they wanted me to do? Son of a bitch. It's always awesome when game developers make their moments unclear or not clear enough to the point where you just gotta watch a video to figure out what the fuck you're doing.
But for Yakuza, I think I'm closing in the 5th party member. So that's pretty cool. I don't know who the fuck he is, but I mean, I've seen like the party members, so I kind of know who's showing up at some point. Yep. So it's just kind of me trying to assign. Okay, when do I get this character? Okay, when do I get this character? Because they already showed one of the characters earlier. Yeah. But he's probably not gonna be unlocked for like at least another like chapter or 2.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I think I've been having. Oh, I also bought the Persona 5 Dancing All Night game, and I played for like 20 minutes.
What's the matter, little baby? Can't handle more rhythm game, little baby?
No, it's just all remixes, and I'm like,
Not a fan of the remixes, I take it.
When it comes to Persona, I'm not really a big fan of remixes, just in general. Usually because I like the old songs so much, so whenever someone tries to do something different, it's like, no.
Yeah, that's how I typically feel about remixes, just in general. They're not typically my cup of tea. I can find some good ones if I go out of my way, but I don't typically go out of my way to listen to remixes, so I get what you mean there. Yeah. Any other games you want to talk about before I get to talking about my video games?
No, pretty much it. Oh, the other thing I want to mention is that my most played game of 2020 was Xenoblade Chronicles 2, not even a 2020 game, by 190 hours.
But Tyler, video game Donkey told me that video game was bad. How can you find enjoyment?
Well, Donkey has a shit taste in every RPG he's played.
No,
and that's my game theory.
He's the greatest content creator to ever exist, Tyler.
I'm sorry. Every single RPG he's done on, minus like Persona 5, has been a shit take. Every single one of them. Every single one of them I've bought in, and then I'm like, this is not nearly as bad as it was. And also, Aqua Traveler.
So, here's the funny thing. He's never actually made a Persona 5 video independently. It was featured in his, like, favorite game video.
Yeah, but, I mean, he didn't fuck it up for once. But, he only showed the first palace. I don't think he made that far. I feel like he made the first palace, like, you know what? I play RPGs, guys. I know what I'm talking about.
Donkey potentially lying about stuff for content and his videos? No. Surely not. He would never. Also,
I find it funny how, like, him in general has just become a meme in, like, our friend group. He has, like, lost all respect from, like, every single one of us one at a time. Like, first it was you. Yep. Then it was me after, like, Octopath. And then, like, slowly but surely, Brandon, Sean, and, like, also, get owned, libtards. Get exposed.
So true. We said their names out loud. How will they cope with this?
They're gonna have a spaz attack.
We're just gonna censor bar it and then still like scare them into thinking we said their names at this part.
We're just gonna be like, as soon as it starts with S, bleep,
bleep, bleep, and they're just gonna be like, did they actually? Yeah, right. But yeah, no, I lost sidetracking to Donkey and me losing respect for him. I lost critic as a comedian. I think he's fine. Like I think he makes funny videos sometimes still. But as a critic, after that Game Critics 2 video where he just like didn't address any of the points made in Animal Jason's video and just like name called him and then left like a link to the guy's video in the description and just called him like a kid and like, you know, just shit talked him basically, like, you know, just name called. And then only mildly said, oh, don't make fun of him, though. He's probably a kid. Like, no, you need to do a bit more than that, Donkey. Also, the fact you just don't address any of the criticisms made against you, you know, that's never a good sign.
Yeah, wasn't it based off the Octopath Traveler video? Because, like, he didn't, like, even do, like, the full mechanics of the game.
Something along those lines, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was, like, I think it was, what was it, the burst mechanic, where you, like, use the glowing orbs, if you know what I'm talking about.
Not off the top of my head.
I just remember, like, I haven't played the game in God knows how long, but I remember, like, there's a mechanic where basically there's these glowing balls.
Yeah, that's right, Donkey. If you want to take this video out of context, please at least put the part where we say we've played the game, because, you know, I don't need your little fucking drone fans appearing and just repeating the same regurgitated joke you made. I mean, because they can't think for themselves for 5 fucking seconds.
But thanks to YouTube, we can't get dislike bombed. Thanks, YouTube.
Well, no, we'll see. We will see him,
but no one else will see him. Yeah, so like this video could just go down in history as being like the most disliked YouTube video on the planet, worse than Call of Duty. What was it? Infinity War?
Worse than YouTube Rewind?
That too. Actually, I thought Infinity War was the most disliked still.
No, I think YouTube. Yeah. I think YouTube.
Well, Rewind, no one's gonna know about it. Just me, us, and we'd be like, "This was a major success."
Yeah, exactly. We can just lie about it and say no one hated any of our comments against Donkey. We can be liars and thieves and cheaters, and none of you will ever know.
Well, anyway, what were some of your games you've been playing recently? Or, if you have one, what is your favorite game of 2021?
My favorite game of 2021. That I played or came out in 2021? It could be either
came out or played, since... Well, I would probably say for mine, it'd be probably Xenoblade 1. Because, like, 2021, I have not finished most things I've bought in this year, so I don't really feel comfortable saying that. And the only other one I finished, a remake.
Right.
But if I had to pick one from this year, I'd probably say like SMT5, probably.
Since I haven't played enough games that came out in 2021, you know, limited budget, all that, I'd say my favorite game that I played in 2021 was Yakuza 0, because I got into the Yakuza series this year, and holy shit, thank God for Xbox Game Pass for giving me the confidence to actually get into it. God, 0 is such a fucking good game.
It's actually really cool that they have like all the games on the Game Pass. That's like the one really cool thing I like about Game Pass. Like they managed to go to Sega like, you know what, Sega? I got a deal for you. You put all your games in here, I don't know, give it like a 20% cut or some shit.
Right. I don't know the dealings, but
holy crap, man. That's actually, it's really cool how they got all of them.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like,
especially like, I mean, granted, like that's kind of like the big shtick nowadays. Is like the Game Pass,
right?
Which is fine. I mean, it works,
right? Yeah, no. So,
and that's actually like, I think it's been like the biggest thing with gaming recently is that like why Xbox is currently winning is because they have the Game Pass, and then Sony's kind of like on life support because they can't get any fans of PS5s because scalpers are immediately scooping them up as soon as they come out. Also, fun fact about that. Apparently, Congress even got involved with that shit.
Oh?
Yeah, they're not happy with scalpers. So rip scalping.
Some like senator got cucked out of like getting a PS5 for their kid for Christmas.
He's
like,
this is war, bitch.
Dagnab those eBay shoppers.
Dagnab them scalpers. I'm gonna send them to the fucking shadow realm.
Right. But yeah, no, like the combat in Yakuza 0 is fun. The story is super engaging, despite what Donkey said in his video. It doesn't pull punches, you know. Just because your main protagonists don't actively kill doesn't mean that your game is pulling punches.
And then it's funny because in 1 or in Kiwami 1, someone dies in like the very beginning of the game.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, people do die in this game.
No, people actively die in 0, so I don't even know what his point there was.
Well, even it was just like oh, I don't know, retarded donkey talk.
So true. But yeah, no, other games, I guess games that I'm currently playing, I beat WarioWare a few days ago, so I'm going through just trying to get all the mini games for that, I think. Currently I'm on Yakuza 4. That's been fun. Like, not as good as 0 or Kiwami 2, but I think from the Yakuza games I play, I'd probably say it's my third favorite so far, just because you get a variety of fighting styles.
Did you play 3?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, 3 and 1, or 3 and Kiwami, I would probably put at the, like, as my least favorite that I've played. Like, still good games.
So, I have a question for you. Do you, like, do the side stories, or do you just do the main story solely, and then do the side stories afterwards?
So, the way I've been playing the Yakuza games, and Yakuza fans aren't going to like hearing this, I already know. So, the way I play it is I tend to focus on the main story because I have so many games to get through that I just kind of want to beat games, like, you know, as, like, not as quickly as possible, but, you know, within a reasonable pace.
So that you can experience the story and move on to the next game.
So, like, you know, I've been doing side missions, like, you know, if they're convenient, if they're in, like, 4, I haven't really been doing them because your characters are well equipped enough combat wise, and you get enough like XP from doing story missions to where I think you're like actually competent enough to fight without really having to do them. So I haven't. But in other games, I like if I notice myself like not having enough experience points or like feeling like the combat or like my character is lacking something that would help me out with like the fighting sections, I'll go and do side missions, which the side missions are fun. Like if you have free time to do them, do them. I fully intend on 100%ing some of the Yakuza games. Not all of them, but like probably 0, Kiwami 2. And that's about it so far. But, you know. Yeah, no, I enjoy those games quite a bit.
And then there's me who's like, I have Kiwami and then Like a Dragon. So I'm like the polar opposite.
I like how you don't even have 0 despite the fact that one came out on PS4.
Yeah, I bought Kiwami first. The hardest part for me was trying to decide between doing the prequel or going to 1.
That
was the big thing. I was like, should I just go with the first one or do the prequel first? And now I've been hearing the prequel's probably better. So I'm like, well, fuck. I'm probably just going to finish Kiwami 1 first and then go back to 0.
Yeah, no, just...
Also, I've been hearing that's like considered 0.5 for Kiwami.
Yeah, no, I'd say you're fine playing Kiwami first. I just, I think 0 adds, like, characterization to some of the characters in Kiwami. Like, it gives, like, context as to, like why you should care more.
Also, like Goromachima and, like, Kiryu's relationship sort of thing.
Right, like, that kind of stuff gets delved into more.
Okay.
Yeah, no, like, you're fine to start out with Kiwami, because, you know, it is the actual start of the Yakuza games. Like, it's just a retelling of
technically it's PS1,
yeah,
but...
well, PS2.
Actually, yeah, PS2. Never mind.
You're all good. But, yeah, no, you're fine to start out with Kiwami. I would just recommend going to 0 when you're able to, because I think 0's
But the bright side of Like a Dragon is that most of these characters haven't even shown up yet, so I can just kind of like do my own thing.
Right? Just chill out, do your own thing, live life.
But for Like a Dragon, it's pretty confident for an RPG. It's just that I play a lot of RPGs, so sometimes it takes me a bit to finish them. I'm lucky you Xenoblade 2. That took me fucking 200 hours to get fucking one blade. Or at least get all the blades.
Shit.
And then when I finally got her, I'm like, you know what? I'm on the DLC now.
You fucking sociopath.
The DLC I played for a couple hours, and then I think actually like I think literally the next day I bought Dragon Quest 11. Speaking of which, that was another game I've been playing. I just haven't touched it in like about a month.
Right.
But I would say 11 is probably the best Dragon Quest game I've ever played because 7 left such a bad taste in my mouth that I just never wanted to touch a single Dragon Quest game after that. Because it's not like the main characters get characterization like you and your party. It's side characters get development, nothing else. So it's like, oh great, this journey is practically useless.
Oh, shit. You gotta love old school RPGs.
It's like, it's a DS game, too.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm pretty sure it's the one I owned on DS.
The big gimmick was that, for that game in particular, that you create the characters, and that's pretty much it. So it's like you kind of make your own story, which I mean is fine. But for, like, a single-player experience, they should have had, like, an option to where, like, it's, like, a more of a story mode situated thing, and have the co-op one be, like, a loose one.
Right. No, I get what you mean.
Yeah. If they didn't do that, I would say that's probably the worst Dragon Quest game I've ever played, and the big reason why I hate that series for at least like 10 years.
I guess that's fair. I mean, I don't remember hating 7. I just got to a point where I couldn't progress.
Also because of the fact that like it just had like the grind, beat boss, repeat, grind, beat boss, repeat.
Right.
And it got to the point where it's like I was getting like very Jack Holland experience, and I was like, I don't feel like doing this anymore.
That's fair.
Then I played Pokemon again.
So I guess I should list, because I haven't just been playing the Yakuza games or WarioWare, shockingly enough. Let's see. I've been using that SNES subscription thing, and I played a few SNES games while in college. But most recently, Super Mario World, because I beat the original Super Mario Bros. Trilogy at college. And World is fun so far. I haven't gotten very far in it, but I'd say it's the closest to Super Mario Bros. 3, which is easily the funnest Mario Bros. From that original trilogy to play. So I'm not complaining about that. I finished a game called AER Memories of Old. Kind of just a game you like chill out, relax to. You can find lore on your own or just follow the main path you're supposed to. I think the ending's a bit anticlimactic. Like, I think I get what it's saying, but I feel like with the way you built up this antagonist, to have it end the way it did just feels like nothing. Although that could just be my stupid American brain kicking in. But I don't think it's that in this case.
Your stupid American monkey brain.
Exactly. I don't think it's that in this case, though. I'm also playing a point-and-click game called Darkside Detective: A Fumble in the Dark, a sequel to the Darkside Detective, which I think is a pretty, funny point-and-click game. I mean, obviously, some of the answers, are kind of out there and a bit bullshit, how the fuck was I supposed to know to connect this with this? It's, you've heard me play it, where I've just, gotten to the point where I look up YouTube guides for, help, because I'm just I don't know what the hell I'm doing, and I've been sitting here for 15-20 minutes trying to figure out how to progress on this one stupid case. But even despite that, I still find the game to be written funny. You can say it's quirky for the sake of quirky. I don't think it's that. I think people who just say that just don't like weird type games in general, or need to better explain what they mean. But I kind of it is what it is there. But I think the writing for it's good. I think your two main characters bounce off each other well, I have fun with it. Haven't been playing much else besides that, though, at the current moment in time.
Yeah, you haven't been going on a binge like I have for the PS4.
Nope, I have not. I've been binging YouTube, and rewatching. I guess this is where we move on to anime, but
at
before,
like almost an hour in.
Yeah, right. Whoa, the weebs are finally talking about weeb stuff an hour in. How do they do it, ladies and gentlemen? How do they do it? But,
I mean, we're already to the cardinal sin of like talking about a Marvel movie when one of us isn't that big of a Marvel fan to begin with. So I have a big freaking red target on my back at the moment.
You're just gonna get killed by MCU stands.
They're just gonna snipe me.
I'm
just gonna need to shower one night and then I'm just gonna get shot dead.
They're gonna Benito Mussolini your ass. They're gonna take you out, execute you, drag you back to a public square, hang you, beat you until you're falling down, kick you while you're down there, bury you, unbury you, kick your ass some more, and then finally your body will get some peace. But no, so for, I guess, an anime I've been watching on my own, not together, before we get to that, since we're on anime now. I've been rewatching a show called Yuki Yuna is a Hero, and it's like one of those darker magical girl shows like Madoka Magica. I know
Honest
you're
to God, I thought you were about to say it, Isekai Zone. I'm about to kill you.
No.
This is a Isekai Zone. Mine is like the good ones.
Until we talk about ReZero,
and then Shield Hero.
The GOAT.
I would say, actually, I think like out of all the Isekai series I'd rather watch, I never want to watch SAO again.
Hell yeah, neither of us do. It's just boring.
Shield Hero, I'd be fine with rewatching again. ReZero, I'd actually be fine giving it a second chance. I'm not the biggest fan of ReZero.
Based.
And Long Horizon, that's pretty much it. Everything else can kind of go die in a hole.
I'm willing to give some isekai shows a chance.
I can't. They honestly just make me cringe nowadays for how like retarded either A, the premise is, or B, the characters are.
I kind of get what you mean there, but going back to Yuki Yuna, it's like, so I think, I enjoy it. I think it's like a good 7 out of 10 series from what I've seen, but I think it stays with that happy-go-lucky, like, typical schoolgirl magical show thing a bit longer than it needs to, but once it breaks away from that is where I think the show starts standing out on its own, and also manages to, like, differentiate itself from, like, Madoka Magica, Magical Girl site, which is just pure trash. It
trash.
No, it really is. If I ever show you that show, you'll see it is the edgiest garbage. Like, holy shit.
That's gonna be hard to beat. I've seen some pretty edgy shit.
But Yuki Yuna is actually good, and I think once it breaks away from just being typical magical girl show and starts going into its darker ideas, I think it starts standing out a lot more, and its characterization gets a lot better. So, would recommend.
I figured I mentioned this. You're not going to hear a lot of the Shonen Jump stuff. You're just not going to hear a lot of it. There are some shows you're going to watch. The biggest one, probably My Hero at the moment. But even then, Season 5 sucks. So,
he doesn't know. Well, no.
Well, I've seen... It's worse than Season 4 for me, and that was like when I was really... like not watching anime for a while. That show was a pain to watch. Not because it was I don't want to say it's bad. It was more because I was working. What was it? 12 to. Actually, no, it wasn't. No, it was like 1 to 10 every night at Walmart for like a year, and I was not having fun. Like I'd come home and be like, I'm playing a game, and going to bed. I just didn't watch anime for like a decent like couple months. I did start the original Gundam. Haven't finished it yet. But that's kind of the start of that's the big like really freaking long one that takes a very long time to get through, mainly because it's kind of dated nowadays. It has a lot of like 80s. Actually, no, I don't think 80s, like 80s/70s like stereotypes in it.
Right. I mean,
so
I haven't watched
it. Through that one.
I haven't watched it, so I don't know.
It's considered one of the ones you want to watch with a friend because you can make kind of like rip off it,
right?
Type of thing. It's not bad. It's just also it doesn't help that like Gundam Seed kind of just entirely copies the storyline of the original Gundam. I'm not even kidding. Like it is a carbon copy of it. The only difference is there's 4 Gundam instead of 1. That's
nice.
The only difference.
Nice.
Something gets stolen, and then the main character becomes like some sort of like new type hybrid who's like a god in some way or like could do like superhuman shit.
Yeah.
What is another thing? They have like this clone type character that's like considered like an ace.
Yeah.
From like the villain side of things. They have some. Actually, I wouldn't say forced romances. Both of them kind of do like. They don't really force it as much. They kind of like gradually do it type thing, which I respect. They both have douchebag characters. At least one douchebag character.
Right.
And they have like a couple of major deaths, but honestly, I don't even think Seed's bad. It's more Destiny that sucks. Destiny is like, it's like Seed but worse somehow.
That is what I've heard about it. I've heard that like Gundam Seed isn't great, but Seed takes whatever good, or Destiny takes whatever good Seed had, and just absolutely just fucking destroys it
like,
entirely.
They entirely destroyed one of the characters' development throughout the entire story just to make it to where they can redo it in Destiny. And then they don't even show the main character till like episode like 20, and he's like the only like interesting factor, and he's very bland, but he's still better than fucking Sasuke looking ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's. What was his fuck? Shin Asuka is basically the not Athranzala. He's basically the freaking Sasuke of freaking Gundam Seed.
Oh Christ.
Like, I fucking hate his character so much.
Sounds fun. Resume.
And we got interrupted, but that's fine.
Yeah, no, it's literally no big deal. So, whatever point we ended on, we forgot about. So we're just going to do this thing called... You were talking about Seed or Seed Destiny.
Yeah, we can just move on from that. So...
I guess this
our big shtick with this podcast was basically to do, like... We were going to do seasonal anime. The problem is, we've only watched like 2 episodes for most of the series, and they're already basically completed, so we have a lot of catch up to do.
Yeah, that's right. You all are on winter. We're still on fall because we're built different. So then
we're definitely built different. We've only finished one show, and it's basically a hentai, so that's great.
That's not even a bit. Well, let's get into talking about the shows that we've watched so far. I guess we'll start from the top and work our way down. Sorry,
Thank God that wasn't open.
Yeah, I had a Mountain Dew and I just slapped it harder than a man in the 50s slapped his wife.
So first off, we've been. Do you want to just go for all the shows we've been watching, or do you just want to start with the first one?
Let's just start. Let's start with one, talk about it, and move on.
Okay, so first off, we have Platinum End, also known as that series that Death Note creators made.
Also, also known as Future Diary, but written by the guy who also wrote Death Note.
Which is pretty accurate for what the show is for the first few episodes, because holy crap, it's... If you showed, someone this and Future Diary, they could probably say, it looks about the same. I mean, it's, animation-wise, but it's practically the same story.
Well, the main character is a little bit more suicidal in Platinum End than Future Diary. And yet still infinitely more likable than what the Future Diary protagonist ends up being based off these first 2 episodes, I think. Or 3. Did we watch?
We only watched the
first 2. We watched the first 2 episodes. Oh my god, we're...
First 2 of 12, so we're doing
24.
Great. Oh, 24, yeah. We're going to be on here a while. Well, granted, we're going to be watching it in winter anyway, so I mean...
Right. Just... So, I guess this is more first impressions of fall shows, because we're just hot on that trigger.
Minus, one show that we actually finished. That was the hentai one.
That's what the No Way Out's for. The No Way Out will get us the clicks.
Yeah. But, I would say, because I've actually read the first volume of this, so I actually have an idea what the fuck the original source material was for the Platinum End first couple episodes. I would say it's pretty good at, adaptation. I really liked Nase, which is the main angel girl. I liked her probably the most, even though she's kind of very suspicious.
Right, no, I get what you mean. Yeah, no, I don't think any of the characters have been bad. More so, I guess the one character who just dies in the second episode is just kind of a nothing character, and then you're
do you find it funny how they decided, let's make an adaptation of a fucking anime that has an orgy scene?
and you know.
Granted, it's not Berserk, but still.
Right.
Because Berserk did that too.
Well, no, wasn't even a good orgy scene.
It wasn't.
Jesus. That's a bit, by the way. That's a bit. Just so you know, not expecting a high-octane anime adaptation of an orgy scene before someone tries crucifying
I mean, unless it was a hentai, then I would expect high quality.
Oh, yeah. That's a bit different. But, yeah, no. Outside of, I guess, like, a few nothing or, like, you know, the stereotypical shitty step-parents, which, you know, I guess you have to have for this type of stuff. Well, no, you don't really need to have it, but I guess they exist.
They could have had a freaking Uncle Ben scene. Where great power comes great responsibility dies.
So yeah, not too much we can say on Platinum End so far, but so far I'm thinking it's like a 7 out of 10 based off the first 2 episodes. It's pretty obvious that like the main girl that the main guy likes is like probably gonna be a note holder. Either that or you like told me explicitly that.
Well, granted, like I've only read the first volume, and basically it cuts off basically at the end of episode 2. He gets kind of stabbed by the white arrow. Actually, no, was it the white or the red one that made him fall in love? It was one or the other.
The red makes you fall in love.
Okay, it was the red one then.
Ah, I see.
That was the very end of the volume. So after this is totally new territory for me.
So
I can't go up the manga.
I don't think we got to that point in episode 2 yet. So
no, we should have. That's like that's. I remember that.
So, for reference, we have notes written out for the seasonal anime. Nothing else has been note written except for this section. And we stumbled upon the one where Tyler wrote for the second episode, I'd use the red arrow on Nase.
Yeah.
You feel good for that one?
Yeah. I mean, did it feel good, though? Did immediately date this video?
That's the reference you want to make? The fucking rice gum reference? Jesus.
Yeah.
You're showing your age on YouTube, Grandpa.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a 21-year-old that's been on YouTube since 10, so I mean, I'm pretty old in that instance.
Jesus, ain't that the fucking truth?
I think in that case, I've been on YouTube for like 11 years, pretty much.
Jesus, ain't that the goddamn truth?
At least like watching content anyway, not so much creating it. But, yeah, I would say it's been good so far. I just hope that, like, it can keep the steam and not, like, completely fizzle out.
Right.
Because, like, I'd actually like to see this series be actually, you know, good. So I don't like saying, like, a series doesn't mean, like, bad. I don't want to be, like, the anime man who, like, just looks at it and goes, this one looks like shit, and then just get immediately shat on by everyone.
Well,
because of freaking Bunny Girl Senpai.
Bunny Girl Senpai is good, but I can't talk about it right now because we're talking about Platinum, and so the only warning sign I see based off notes I gave was apparently the second episode they drilled in the fact that the main character is looking for happiness quite a bit, enough to where I had to make note of it. So that's a bit concerning if they continue that trope, because I feel like I'll get very annoyed with it very quickly. Muchos gracias. 3, 2, 1. Once again, I got food. That's why I left. That's why it's cutting again, but it's fine. Just as I was saying, I think if they just keep trying to drill in the fact that your main character is looking for happiness, I'm just gonna get fucking uber annoyed. So I'm hoping they don't do that. And on to our second show, one that I don't think either of us... Wrong mouse.
That's your mouse.
Oh, duh. Whoopsie doodles. Oopsie poopsie.
So the next one is Komi-can't communicate, and I'm gonna say this right now. It is so much fucking better than the manga is. Like, the comedy that they do in this is so much more impactful, and like the characters in general I think are much better as like an animation rather than like drawn. Because like it shows a lot more like expression.
Right.
In my opinion, anyway.
Well, no, I think we both hold that same opinion, because I'm pretty sure both of us went out of our way at some point to read the first volume, because, you know, this series has a lot of hype behind it. And I remember being kind of underwhelmed with the first volume. Like, it was good, but it wasn't anything that I would, like, exactly write home about. But from what I've seen from the first 2 episodes of
actually 3, so we watched. I know we watched. Or
we watched part of it.
Yeah, we got part of it done.
Yeah. So based off, I'll just say the first 2 episodes because we didn't get very far in 3 due to outside forces. It's. I think I see the appeal of it a lot more than I did the manga, which I think will lead to this probably being like a show I enjoy a lot, which, I'm never going to complain about that. Komi's a good character, I think. The main character has a bit more depth than I was expecting. Obviously not the deepest character ever so far, but, based off, a blank cardboard box of nothingness, actually having a character is a surprising, clap-worthy thing for anime sometimes.
Yeah, especially if you're from an A1 Pictures show.
Oh, well,
they all look the same.
Since we enjoy spitting hot takes, I guess I'll spit this one out and see how it's received. But I see here in my notes about Osuna, who is like the androgynous character, if you recall, the character who has a whole bunch of friends.
Oh yeah, that one, yeah.
Who goes by both he, she pronouns. How they can be, as far as I understand it, interpreted as a gender fluid character. And I guess I'm more impressed from it coming from Japan, because from what I understand, they have a much more conservative society than America does. So I think it's always...
Plus, I don't think they're as, into the whole,
Right, open about it.
Yeah.
Or, okay with it. So I always find it admirable if a show or a piece of media from Japan has something, noteworthy. That's not just, 3 seconds or clearly tailored for straight people to enjoy.
I like how they didn't, throw this in your face. Because, I hate when they do this type of thing. They just throw it in your face. Well, whether it's, this or, I say gay relationships and media. I want, if they're gonna do it to where it's subtle. Do not force it, because if you force it, I feel it just ruins it, type of thing. Because I don't really care if a big example of this Finding Three Houses. It's very subtle. You can go through the whole game and not see a whole damn thing about a gay relationship. But if you want to do that, you can, and I like that. I think that's a good compromise instead of just because one of the big problems I don't like with media nowadays, they they over-fixate on that portion of it than anything else.
Well, I think that's just hack writers being hack writers.
Fair enough.
I mean, I don't have an issue with it being shown in my face. If I see a gay couple kiss, I'm not sitting there get this. I know that's not what you meant. I think what you're meaning to say is, when their main characterization is, their minority aspect. So, if you have an African-American character, their main characteristic is that they're African-American. If they're gay, their main aspect is they're gay. Which, yes, it should be, a part of the character. Obviously, that's going to lead to a different philosophy, different way of living, different culture, etc., etc. But I think I get what you mean when it's, their only characteristic, or it's the only one that seems to be referenced by the writer. And I agree with you on that point, because, they're just... for example, something what am I thinking? Just something with bad writing. Not even just minority-based, just a hack writing show. Something like Batwoman or something like CW would put out. And like I said, that's not an example of bad writing for minority characters, because I don't recall if Batwoman has any in it. Well, besides Batwoman, but I don't remember how much of a point is made about it, or is her main characteristic, because there's just so much else wrong with that show. But I kind of get what you mean, where it's that's the only character point that's focused on, or the only characteristic they're allowed to show is the fact that they are in fact minority. Which, yeah, no, obviously do more than just that, be better than that, show them as actual people. And, if people are still bigoted jackasses about it, even after the fact, then they're just bigoted jackasses and, should be treated as such, But, yeah, no, I think Osuna is a cool character, because, it's
I think it's subtle. It works.
It's not the main characteristic. Obviously, the androgynous and, stuff like that is somewhat comedic, but it's never, a punching down comedic, isn't it so freaky? No, it's never played as a mean way or a way to insult the character for seeing
guys, look at this quirky character. He's gay.
Right? It's not like punching down the fact that they're gay
Guys,
or whatever.
I'm so quirky.
Like, you know, there are no jokes with Osana besides the fact they're androgynous, and when androgyny is brought up as a joke, it's like never to like insult Osana as a character themselves, which I respect.
Also, I gotta say, I really like the like Danganronpa SCs in this series. Like, I get so many Danganronpa vibes from watching these episodes. It's not even funny. It's
Really?
like some of the music kind of like cues like Danganronpa. I'm like, I really like that though. I like it.
I mean, I don't see that myself, but hey.
There was a couple scenes that like immediately makes me think of Danganronpa vibes.
Right.
And granted, I had not beaten any game except one, so I'm a pleb, but I will try to get to that at some point.
Right. No, I get what you mean.
Also, I gotta say, because we haven't finished episode 3 yet, but I have a note for here. I do not like that one character, the dog face character.
Oh, the shy girl who's just like a really deep masochist.
I do not like her already. I hope her time is kept to a fucking minimum. Unless they make her better. If they do, that's fine. But currently, keep her the fuck away from my face, please.
Right, and that's an example of where the joke is punching down on the character, because the joke with that character is just, look at how weird this masochist is acting.
Like,
why are they acting
literally
like
just
this?
do darkness from Konosuba.
Well, to be fair, that was also kind of the joke, but I feel like Komi-san is a bit more serious than Konosuba ever tried to be from what I saw of it. So I think I have less of an issue with Konosuba just kind of being like one-note comedy. Now, obviously, you know, if it were like punching down on minorities, which as far as I've seen, it doesn't.
Now, keep this in mind, we're gonna watch like
the first 2 seasons.
And wait for what?
Konosuba. I was talking to Konosuba. Like the disclaimer in case like they do punch down on like minorities at some. I hope they don't. I don't think, as far as I've heard, they do. But you know, on the off chance that you know they do, just be aware. Me and Tyler do not know.
Like I don't even think we've seen the movies yet.
Yeah, no.
And then next up is the show that is like a 6 out of 10 on Mal, which has definitely scared my co-host here.
It's so far from the first 2 episodes. I don't even
think we mentioned the name.
No, we didn't. I was about to.
Oh.
It is called Sakugan.
Also known as, for me, Headshot, the anime.
I fucking loved the first 2 episodes of this. I think the dynamic between the father and daughter is very good. I think the other dynamics built with the other characters work really well. I think the fact that the first episode ends the way it does on a more serious note and doesn't feel like the tone is just being like all of a sudden just jerked away from you is really fucking impressive.
Also, the reason why I call it Headshot is because basically the same type of father-daughter dynamic, they got freaking killed by a rock. And so, since they both died instantly, I've called it a Headshot. And so, it's been named as Headshot the anime ever since.
And, like, for the second episode, you know, how those deaths actually affect Menmenpu, who is the daughter of the father-daughter dynamic. Very weird names for this show, especially even for anime standards, but I'm not saying that as a negative. That's just more of an observation.
Honestly, it sounds more like a Chinese name to me.
Could be.
I don't know why. It just kind of comes off as more Chinese than Japanese.
I get you, but I don't really like assuming that, since I'm not like aware enough of Asian cultures or names that well to like.
Well, it could also be like the different.
What are you thinking?
Might be because of a different like. Fuck. What are the characters? Well, it could be dialect, but I was thinking more like the kanji.
Ah, okay.
Like it might have different meaning for it. I don't know.
That could be true.
But I also do like the fact that they kind of like these big ass freaking kaiju monsters. That's kind of cool.
I also kind of like the fact that it's, from what I can tell, it seems like they're setting the kaiju up to be like proxies for something, you know, based off the fact they literally come in on fucking puppet strings, and then like all the info they know is just suddenly wrong at like the convenient moment when something has been discovered by the main characters.
Also, I'm interested to see where this show goes downhill, because it looks like it goes downhill at some point.
God, please, I hope not. I pray.
Well, unless like anime fans are just retarded.
Well, you know, it wouldn't be the first time that anime fans have been collectively wrong about something, and it won't be the last time.
Do you remember when, like, the anime community is like, let's get interspecies reviewers to, like, #1 on Now, just to spite people that took it off air?
Remember when anime viewers were like, no, the original Neon Genesis Evangelion ending doesn't make sense. No, change it. No, what do you mean this show's about personal happiness and trying to change yourself for the better? No!
Personal happiness? What's that?
And then, let's see, the next show we've actually watched is Taisho Otome Otoga Banashi, which I think is like Feudal Fairy Tale or something.
It's the Feudal Japan one.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this one from what I've seen. I think the main character is annoying. I think the main girl is like cutesy and innocent, but
I think the main reason why you said you hate it was because it was like more of like
it just feels like a stereotype of what a pessimist is, because no one fucking walks around who thinks pessimistically, and when they think something positive they just go, no, I'm a pessimist, I can't think happily.
I'm a pessimist, damn it.
That's not how, like, I don't believe that is how anything like pessimism or depression or whatever allegory they're trying to make with this character works. You don't just go from like, you don't just have a happy thought and just think, no, I'm not supposed to feel this way, I'm this.
Well, I also feel like the point of it is to kind of have the female be more of the main lead, because he is not a good main lead. He's like basically Sasuke if he was more edgy.
I wouldn't go that far.
Actually, no, more of a pessimist.
He's just a stereotype pessimist who's just not like interesting to watch.
He's like a worse Hikigaya. In every way.
Hikigaya. From what
my youth.
Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, I see what you mean.
Well, granted, he's not really a pessimist, but like...
Cynic.
Cynic, yeah.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. That is a... I think
Speaking
that is
of that show, we have still yet to watch season 3.
Yep. And we have to completely bet on completely different horses for who wins the romance in the end. So I guess one of us will be.
Well, I already know. The fan base really likes the mom character of Yui Yogami, because there's a lot of smut.
Of course there is.
Yeah, I ain't complaining. Holy shit.
But yeah, no, I don't really have a lot to say about Taisho besides the fact I think the main character has not been compelling. I hope.
I would say it could get better. It has a chance. It just needs to like definitely like dial down the
stereotyping. Yeah. Like, it feels like it could be a Toradora where they're trying to play up the stereotypes early on to then like deconstruct them later. But I just don't. I didn't like Toradora doing it then. I don't like this show doing it now. Yeah, there's a hot take. I don't care for like the first 4 episodes of Toradora. I think once the blue hair girl gets introduced, the show becomes like good. But up until that point, oh, it's rough. It is rough. On to the next show, and this might be like the weirdest one we've watched.
Well, maybe we'll also watch an ASMR show.
That's also fair, but that's later. This
and
one,
hentai.
That's also fair. That's also later. This one is a show called Deji Meets Girl.
Essentially, most of these episodes are like...
3
actually,
minutes.
not all of them are like 3 minutes long. But on the bright side, they tend to go really hard on animation. And animation quality, so I mean that does bring it up a bit.
And you know the fucked up thing? The characterization in these 3-minute short episodes are better than the Taisho Otabe show's characterization for their characters.
Or at least the main male character, because the female character isn't as bad.
Oh yeah, no, she's just... I mean, she's not generic. Bad. She's generic, but she's not bad. But yeah, no, Deji Meets Girl, good animation. I think like the little short stories they tell are kind of interesting and out there.
Also, it's kind of weird how they have like a Jesus fish.
Yeah, well, I mean, the whole show's
or
weird.
An S fish. I mean, it's a weird show to begin with, but I like that Jesus fish, man.
Like, no, I like this little show. I like how everything works. I like how it's quick to the point. I like the little characterization you get despite, like, you know, only being there for like 3 minutes. You know, I would, you know, if you got free time, this is the one where, like, you know, if you have free time or just, like, not a lot of free time, but you want to watch something, I'd say give this one a look. I'd also recommend Komi-san and Sakugan.
But Sakugan, we have to probably investigate further on that one before that one becomes an official recommendation.
And Platinum End. So far, I guess we'll give recommendations at the end after we've gone through.
Yeah.
But Deji Meets Girl is definitely like an interesting show, I feel, and I enjoy what I've seen of it.
Also, I can guarantee you for like most of these like seasons, we're gonna be watching weird shit. It's just gonna happen. So
we kind of just go through my anime list and pick whatever catches our eye.
So if there's a show on there that you like that we did not watch, it's probably because it didn't catch our eye.
Yeah,
not saying it's bad, but I mean sometimes it is gonna be bad.
It just didn't catch our eye, you know. It's just how it goes sometimes.
Or it's like SAO season 6, and we're like, no.
Yeah, that too. On to the ASMR show, aka 180 Bio de Kimi no Mimi wo Shiawase ni Dekiru ka.
That's a mouthful.
Oh, definitely. Especially when I don't barely know how to pronounce Japanese. I'm sure there's some person who knows how to speak Japanese who just wants to fucking pulverize me for this and the Taisho Otame pronunciations.
And then for this one, we only have one episode. Because this is one of the ones we kind of just we threw to the wayside because we were like, okay, since we already knew we were behind because we went back like a month later and we're like, fuck, we are like 6 episodes behind. So we were like, okay, we're gonna ditch most of the shows and focus on like 2 shows, and even that didn't work. So we're doing great.
So we'll update you as we watch more of these.
We will try to catch up and at the very least get like everything else done because like Platinum Man and Komi-san we can watch in the winter. Because that's gonna be fine. I mean, they're going to be continuing anyway.
Right.
But the rest of the shows, we just need to get done.
So, yeah, this one is just ASMR from the first episode. It's just literally ASMR. So, if you like ASMR and you need anime visuals to go with it and VTubers just don't do it for you, I'd give this one a look. But, you know, if you're not into ASMR, I wouldn't check this one out. On to the next show. Oh, I remember what this one is. Kaginado. This is the one that has the Clannad characters and other characters.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So,
and the reason why I was one that picked this one because I'm a fan of Clannad very heavily. I would say it's still one of the best romance anime to exist. Nothing has really even come close to really tackling that. And I don't think anything will because I don't think anything nowadays has really balls.
I disagree. There's
not as much as they used to.
Taxi exists. That's my counter argument to
I haven't watched furry propaganda.
Yeah, well, you're a cretin and a godless heathen, so...
I mean, probably someone going to make me watch it anyway. So yep. But,
so...
at least they had the balls to kill off a kid character. It's more than, like, any Skyrim dev.
Right. So this show's basically a gag series featuring Clannad and some other series.
Little Buster and what was the other show? I know it's Clannad, Little Buster. Oh yeah, Kenon. Those are the 3. I'm pretty sure.
And you know, I don't understand most of them because I've only watched Clannad, but it made me laugh. I'm pretty sure it made me laugh out loud twice if my notes are correct from the first episode, which is the only one I've watched. But, you know, hey, if you like those 3 shows and you want to see, like, a gag anime kind of in the art style of Isekai Quartet, then I'd check it out. Hey, it's time for the hentai, or its actual title, Showtime, Uta no One-san Date Shitai. Once again, anyone who knows how to, like, say Japanese words is going to want to fucking pulverize me, but, you know, it is what it is. I do not know Japanese, and I will not pretend like I do.
So essentially, aside from this being a hentai, it tries to work as a rom-com, but definitely fails. It fails in both aspects of being a rom-com and a hentai because they don't even try to animate it good for a hentai. Because like you can watch any other hentai, and I'm pretty sure even the old ass fucking ones, and it still looks better than this shit.
Yeah, it is not animated very well, and the emotional beats do not work because they are literally there for like a second, instantly get resolved, sex scene, repeat that for like the second half of the show.
Also, this one's getting a season 2 somehow,
so we will be watching that because although I don't like the show as an actual show, it is unintentionally really funny to watch. Like, people who say so bad it's good doesn't actually exist, or guilty pleasures don't exist.
This is a good example of one.
You're wrong. And, yeah, like Tyler said, this is an example.
I mean, I also would say Domestic Girlfriend is a very good example of a guilty pleasure. Because, holy shit, that show's bad, but it was funny as hell. It was entertaining as shit to watch.
I haven't watched it, so I got no dog in that fight. But back to Showtime. That's right. So we'll go through this episode by episode based off our notes, since we actually finished this one.
Yeah.
So episode 1, they meet the TV show hostess at a diner, and then they go home, and literally with the daughter sleeping in like the room next to them or in their bedroom, the guy just like instantly goes after her and like is just very horny and like, you know, gropes her.
Yeah.
And yeah, then they just proceed to have like, do they have sex there, or is it just like
I don't think they did. I don't think they did yet.
Yeah, so like yeah.
And this entire time, I was just making jokes about like the kid, because it's either they ignore her entirely, or like she's like in the next room, and then I just kept making jokes like they're just gonna like move to the room and just like smash right on top of her.
God, yeah, it's not a lie either. I can read the note here. Here's the note he put for episode 1. Currently a 9 would be a 10 if they fucked on top of their child. And once again, that is a joke, by the way.
It is a joke.
He does not have any actual interest in seeing that before someone decides to take
I just thought it'd be
context.
funny because like every time it's like it'd be the funniest thing if they just did that as like a gag.
Because it's literally the child's like right next to them or like near them. And like,
I know there's like one episode where like they're in like the studio room and then like she's like right there and they just do it anyway.
For like the first 2 to 3 episodes, it's like the daughter is like so stupidly close to being able to witness this happen. And the guy's just so overtly horny for like, I mean, I guess for a reason, but like, you know, it's just, he just like has no control over himself. And it's like, God damn.
I'm pretty sure, I don't know about most dads, I'm pretty sure most dads would have the constraint to not do that in front of a little kid. Or even just like an adult in general.
Or like near, or like when the kid is near. Yeah, no.
Most of the time they'd either wait until the kid is like fast asleep or in the middle of the night. And even at that point, they probably have like an ear open just to make sure they don't do it when the freaking kid walks downstairs.
Okay, so episode 1, sex did not happen based off your note for episode 2.
I'd assume it.
So yep, episode 2 has the same issue with like the kid being like really near, like not in the same room or anything, but like the next room over. Yeah. So it's just really weird for like, you know, for the dad to get so horny immediately when the kid's like put to bed or whatever. I'm pretty sure mutually assured masturbation, so that sounds like a very funny visual. I don't remember what it looked like, but
I mean, it looked jank because this whole show looked jank.
Yeah, the whole show the whole show is so jank.
And then in episode 3 finally wins a thing called consent.
Oh, that's right. He finally asks before doing something. It's like it's character development.
And then from my notes, he looks like he has a 12-pack, but he looks like a fucking twig.
No, it literally is that. He does not look like he's someone who works out. And then he just takes off his short shirt and he just has like a 6-pack. It's so stupid. Like, you can tell it's just clearly he has a 6-pack because that's what they assume will like turn people on. They're like, oh yeah, you're horny now that you see the guy has a 6-pack, aren't you?
And then I like with this show, like a little bit of running gag near the end of it is that like we probably shouldn't do this shit in public because if it gets out, then my career could be ruined, and just do it anyway. And then they just like they just disregard that, just do it anyway.
Oh my god, that's right. That is where that starts, as this one, because episode 4 fucking continues that.
Yeah,
that's right. Because episode 4. Here, I'll just read my notes. Here's the best way to summarize it. I just watched someone get eaten out on a Ferris wheel. So, you know, that whole plot point about being worried about being seen in public.
I think I have the best comment for that. The Ferris will be sticky.
Yeah.
Or at least that particular area of the Ferris wheel.
It's from what I recall, it's the most impractical place where anything happens. And, like, the whole thing about, I don't want to be seen in public doing something like this, and then, you know, that happening on a public Ferris wheel. I don't know. Seems like a pretty risque spot to be seen, but hey, what do I know?
And then the next one's probably one of my favorite comments. for episode 5. I know we're kind of skipping through them, but this show, there isn't much to this show.
Yeah, no. Oh, I guess the only other thing I should mention is that she's worried about the guy not actually liking her, but, like, he literally ate you out on a fucking Ferris wheel, so...
I think you're fine there.
Right? Episode 5... Oh, that's right.
I think mine summarizes the episode very well. I wish that they fucked in front of the dead dead wife's grave. That'd be funny.
The thing. They don't even fuck. They dry hump.
That too.
It's not even sex. They just... Episode 5, might I mind you, of this 8 episode where we've already seen, like, sex or getting eaten out, and this one has the brave decision of dry humping. This show does not know how to pace out its sex at all.
Well, they have to make it stretch out for, like, 8 episodes, and they gotta make people come back to see the conclusion.
Also the fact that yeah, I already spoiled it, but the dead wife of our main guy character... They couldn't even give her a face. This important character who is like the mother of the daughter and who this main girl of our show is worried about. They couldn't even give her a fucking face, dude. They
should have honestly just done like a freaking like meme face at that point.
Honestly, it would be better than just like blank slate of nothing. It's like, oh cool, she's not a person. She's
it's just an A1 Pictures animated character.
She's not a person. She's not an actual character. She's just like an obstacle that the main characters have to work.
I have a better word for it. She's an obstacle.
God, shut your face.
Oh my god, I hate myself.
Oh my god. Oh, that's right, the inadequate Paul. Oh my god, that's right, because she leaves because she feels inadequate. And then literally episode 6 ends it in the first fucking 3 minutes.
Oh. I also have a good comment for this one. Didn't you say you needed to pick up your daughter? Who?
Oh, that's right, because he's supposed to pick up his daughter, but instead of doing that, they have sex in his car, or at least they don't show him.
No, it wasn't the car. I think it was literally just the house.
Was it the house?
I think it was.
Could have sworn they had car sex.
The car sex
that's
is later.
Next episode. Okay, sorry for the spoilers, everybody. I'm sure you're heartbroken that I'm ruining the pacing of this.
You spoiled the shitty hentai that no one cares about.
But yeah, no, they go to his house and they do the fun time, and like literally the daughter is never mentioned again outside the dad saying, I have to pick her up, and just never follows through with it throughout the episode.
Also, I think this is the one where my co-host's girlfriend joined in on it, and it was very funny.
Oh, yeah.
Because like throughout this whole show, we only had one friend who escaped this. Everyone else had to join in during this, and it was fucking hilarious every time.
Very awkward for me. I'll be honest with you. It was not one of the defining moments of our relationship. But hey, you know, that's life. On to episode 7. You know, oh, that's
this was the inspiration for Car Sex by Pyrocynical.
Here's the summary. My notes summarize it. I don't want to get caught in a scandal, says the TV hostess main girl character. They proceed to have car sex. And I think we literally skipped the sex scene because of just how awful the animation is. Which one had the... I swear to God, one of these had like...
I think it was 7 or 8.
Was it 5?
For which
or
one?
6? There's just one of these that had such noticeably bad animation.
I think it was 7 and 8 because I think they were losing the budget.
Because just at some point, the already bad animation just drops off to like such a noticeable degree to like where at some points it feels like a literal slideshow. Like it is not very good, and I can't wait to watch season 2. But on to the final episode 8.
Also, they have the meme position in this.
What do they have?
The meme position. You know, the meme number.
Oh, that's right.
They have the 69 joke.
That's right. They 69 in this episode. The final episode, they 69 in. So you know, hey, if you're watching a hentai and you're like, I haven't seen enough of the 69 position, episode 8 of Showtime will do it for you. But yeah, no, it ends like it is an anticlimactic end. It's not even an ending. It just ends like any other episode would. Just everything about this show was not good, but like hilarious in like how poorly it's executed, and I cannot wait to watch season 2. Also, fun fact for you, I found out apparently this is based off like some type of webcomic, because I found the webcomic and I have it on my phone.
Is it better or worse than
I don't know. I haven't gotten far in it. I've gotten to like the first 2 chapters, and they haven't had sex yet within the first 2 chapters. So like
so
already,
so they probably just added sex just to sell as a hentai.
well, no, it seems like the pacing is slower in the webtoon than it is for like the show. Because like I'm pretty sure I'm gonna take a shot that episode 1 of the show covers like the first 3 to 4 chapters of the webtoon. So you know. So, the overall ratings and impressions of the show since we finished it. For me, if I'm having to speak on an objective level, it is a 4 out of 10. It is not good.
It's not even good for hentai standards because, like, the animation is so off compared to, like, newer, like, hentais and shit. It just can't stand up to them at all.
Yeah, no.
And I like how we're comparing freaking hentais for a freaking anime review.
And that is it for our seasonal roundout from the looks of it for the fall season so far. Obviously, in future episodes, we'll be talking like more about these shows, but
since we've only watched like a couple of them and most of them aren't really that far in, we don't really have a lot of material to go off from at the moment. So the later episodes will probably have more content to them for this. That's why we kind of added the No Way Home stuff plus ad revenue.
Yeah, right. Plus, people might actually click. Revenue. Oh god, no, we're not gonna get ad revenue, but you know, people will click at least.
And then,
so for shows I would recommend from the fall season myself, I would recommend so far Platinum End, Komi-can't Communicate, Sakugan, Deji Meets Girl, and that's about it.
I'm about the same minus like Deji Meets Girl, I guess. And Sakugan, because like that 6 out of 10 ratings kind of scared me with that show.
So, you know, I realize this has been a long episode from the looks of it, probably about like an hour 45, like hour 50 with some minutes. Cutting, because some cutting will be happening. You know, there are going to be some awkward bits where we're there and then we're not there, you know. But hey, such is life.
But hey, that's just a theory.
So, if you've made it to this point, if you've listened to me and Tyler's ramblings up to this point, it's very much appreciated. If you have any advice on any way to like structure this in the future.
Also, I should forget to mention, these will probably be like bi-weekly. We're not doing this every week. We're going to be probably doing it like every other week or something like that because we're both college students and we're not going to have a lot of time when we go back.
Right.
So, I was thinking about doing a bi-weekly struggle, like every like 2 weeks or something like that. We record an episode.
So we'll try to keep it to that schedule.
If not, there might just be like one episode a month type of thing. But if that is the case, we'll try to at least like get most of the stuff. Hopefully, the ideal thing to be is that we can get most of the episodes done for that month, then do a stream on it or like a podcast recording. Yeah. So that way we at least get the new content out there so that people can like, okay, this guy's opinion sucks.
Yeah, no, you know, hey, if you want to tell me that my opinion on Donkey or
also
anime YouTubers...
Rip World and Harem, we were going to watch this show, and that show got delayed to, like, winter, so oof to that show. I suppose the episodes are actually out, it's just that it's only the first 2, so we just kind of threw it to the winter season, so that will be joining winter.
I give it a salute, you know, a salute of a fallen soldier.
Also, I feel like the only, like, major show we're going to watch next season is Attack on Titan. And unless the other shows actually get somewhere, we're going to probably actually watch some other shows that we actually put on here to watch. Since we have a couple other shows that we've set aside to watch as a me and him group. Since some of the shows I haven't watched and he's watched, some of the shows I've watched. And actually, no, some of the shows he's watched and I haven't watched yet.
Yeah, there you go. So yes, there will be non-seasonal anime discussion on here at some point. Just
mainly because like some shows that we're going to watch in the future, or some of us are going to watch in the future, could kind of help if the other person actually watched it.
Right. Mainly,
the biggest one being Shield Hero, since I'm going to be watching Season 2 regardless. I don't know when the hell Season 3 is going to be released. Since they haven't even announced that one yet.
I guess you'll find out.
They're probably going to announce it at like the last episode or something like that. So they already announced that it's coming out, just they haven't announced like a year.
Right. So yeah, I think that's where we're gonna end it. Once again, thank you for listening. Leave any comments, any advice, any critiques. Tell me my opinion sucks. Tell Tyler his opinion sucks.
We welcome them all.
Tell me why talking about gender fluid or representation was a bad idea. You know.
Tell us how this this podcast may end up aging horribly in like a couple years.
Yeah, hey, just let us know whatever you want to let us know. And thank you, at least for listening to this point. And hope to see you again if we upload another one. For now, this is Travis, a.k.a. Trev55, signing out.
And this is Tyler, a.k.a. Shattering Titans and 8. This is Weeb Conquest, signing out.